Right then, hello everyone and welcome back to the Assetto Corsa Offline Championship. We are here for round number 8 of the 2021 Porsche Super Cup Championship, which takes us to the first and only round in North America as we head over the pond and to Mexico, here in the Mexican capital of Mexico City at the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez. We are here for 20 minutes of qualifying around this track for the final 3 rounds of the Porsche Super Cup Championship, and this is bound to be a pretty exciting one. My name is Miran in the commentary booth as always, and we're currently looking at Amin Al-Fadil in the Dynamic Motorsport, who's just about to start his lap, and as he will take us through a lap of the Hermanos Rodriguez circuit, I will take you through the track as well. So, the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez, located in Mexico City in Mexico. The track was opened in November of 1959, and back then it was called the Autodromo Magdalena Mijuca, but it was renamed to the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez in honor of the 2 Mexican racing driver brothers, Ricardo and Pedro Rodriguez, both who were Mexican drivers competing in Formula 1 and unfortunately passed away in motor-related racing accidents, so the track was renamed in the 2 Rodriguez brothers' honor. It hosted the Formula 1 Mexican Grand Prix only 3 years after its opening as a non-championship race, and then in 1963 it became a full World Championship event. It was dropped, however, in 1970 due to spectator overcrowding, and it was redesigned following a Formula 1 return in 1986, but it left again in 1992 due to safety concerns. And the track remained dormant for a bit until 2001, when the track was revamped and CART, the predecessor to IndyCar, would come here in 2002 all the way up until 2007, and then in 2015 Formula 1 finally returned back to Hermanos Rodriguez for the Mexican Grand Prix, now also called the Mexico City Grand Prix. There's been a few other racing series here as well, apart from the aforementioned ones. There's been Formula E since 2016. You've had NASCAR formerly came here back in the 2000s, and now you have the NASCAR Mexico Series here today. You also formerly had the 6 Hours of Mexico with the World Endurance Championship here, and there's been a few other racing series here as well. This layout then, the Grand Prix circuit, which has been in place since 2015, is 4.304 kilometers long and features 17 turns. And this track is, well, it is pretty interesting. As I said, it is built around a public park, and many people do remember this track obviously for that last sector, which goes through a sports stadium. So the atmosphere through there is absolutely electric. It has a pretty, it has a very, very interesting set of corners. Obviously, the first 3 ones are very, very sharp, and then also the turn 4, 5, 6 complex. Again, very, very sharp, almost 90-degree corners, and then you head into the flowing Sector 2, and then the very, very tricky stadium section of Sector 3. So it is a very challenging track, and it's got a lot of tricky corners and pretty unique sectors as well. As we have all the first 26 times on the board. Ludwig Stefansson is currently fastest with a 1:49 point flat, and then it's Nick Tander and Håkan Solenström following the Icelandic driver. And today then, all eyes will be on the top 8 in the championship, as they are all separated by only 8 points. Matter of fact, everyone down to Jagan Yunada down in 14th in the championship are able to take the lead heading out of Mexico City here today. So it is looking really, really close in the championship, ladies and gentlemen. So keep your eyes on that qualifying table, because any little improvement for the guys in the top 14 will be absolutely massive. Søren Jakobsen then, following his win at Istanbul last time out, leads the championship by 2 points from Çağatay Yılmaz in second, and then it is Mikolas Černík only 3 points behind on 52 points, and then in a tied 4th place is Håkan Sorenström and David Juhl, but he doesn't compete in this anymore, so it's Håkan Sorenström in 4th. Then it is Marco Rosenthal in 5th, and then Miško Srnčević in 6th, and Srnčević only 8 points behind Søren Jakobsen as well, and he is down in 8th, which is absolutely incredible. Then you've got Sazonov and Miyazaki tied on 44 points, as Amin Al-Fadil now goes on to provisional pole. Good lap from Amin Al-Fadil. But yeah, then behind Miyazaki and Sazonov is Damian Krastev on 42 points. Then you have Sebastian de Kloot on 40 points, just behind those two, or behind Sebastian de Kloot. Then it is Jagan Yunada, who is 23 points behind Søren Jakobsen. And speaking of Sebastian de Kloot, the man in 12th in the championship has just gone on to provisional pole, so not bad at all from Sebastian de Kloot. Man who winded up pointless at Istanbul will look to turn that around here at Mexico City, and he is doing so at the moment. Marco Rosenthal as well. He suffered the same fate as de Kloot at Istanbul, went pointless, but now sits in 3rd here at here on the qualifying table. So we have about 11 minutes to go, so there is still a lot that can change in this order. There's still a lot of improvements yet to be made. Oh, as that is an improvement from Luke Fisher. What a lap from Luke Fisher, the Welshman in the Dynamic Motorsport, goes up into provisional pole. Great lap. That is from Luke Fisher. And he will be pleased with that one, I'm sure of it. He scored points on both of his outings now in Porsche Super Cup, and if he is able to follow it up with a potential pole position, that would be nothing short of incredible for Luke Fisher in the Martinet by Almira car. As Miyazaki now goes up into 9th, gets herself into the top 10 with a 149.1. And now then, what remains to be seen is the championship leader, and at the moment we actually can't see him at all. He is outside of the top 24 at the moment, Søren Jakobsen, and that is not a good sight for the man who won from pole last time out at Istanbul. So we'll see if Søren Jakobsen is going to be able to get himself up there with the likes of Yilmaz and Černík and Sorenström. So only time will tell if that will be the case. Speaking of Yilmaz, he is currently in 13th, so he is sitting in the points, and well, I think he is hoping that Jakobsen does qualify outside the points, because 2 points will be all he needs to tie Jakobsen at the top of the table. as Terzic now goes up into third. Good lap from the Bosnian, who has had a few modest results this season. Has finished in points 3 out of 7 occasions so far this season. So he'd probably like to get a few more points finishes for himself in these last 3 races of the season. As there is Alessio Costanzo, the San Marinese wonder kid, getting himself up into P5. Håkan Sodenström now gets himself up into third. That's going to be crucial for Sodenström, as the Swede will have to bag important and big points to get himself back into the lead of the championship, following a pretty mediocre Monza and Istanbul. So not bad at all from Håkan Sodenström. And at the moment, if things were to stand as they are, he would be in pretty big contention to take the championship lead here at Hermanos Rodriguez, as we are witnessing a pretty big battle on our hands here. We're looking at Terzic. He's fighting it away with one of the dynamic cars. I'm not sure which one that is. It's the number 14, as we see them head through the final corner. The number 14 Dynamic Motorsport. That is Amin Al-Fadil who he's fighting with, as they go side by side to the final corner. They've been side by side for this entire lap, mind you. It's not obviously going to help them in any way on their qualifying laps, but it does look pretty flashy, I have to say. As Jose Lucas now goes up into P7. Jose Lucas, who has scored 1 podium to his name this season, has failed to finish on the points in every other race, bar Monza. Would probably like to get that points tally up as well here at Hermanos Rodriguez. There's Kai Chereshnia. Up into P6 he goes, the former Formula 1 driver. Terzic is still trailing Al-Fadil here, trying to get past the man in 7th, as Håkan Sodenström now pushes Jatis Terzic down into 4th. Terzic now he's been trying to get past Al-Fadil. This is not going to do him any wonders, and certainly won't get him any improvements either. So a bit frustrating for Jatis Terzic, but if I were in a situation, the best choice of action would just be to pile into the pit lane and try and go out at a less crowded time. As Loïc Lemieux, the Swiss driver, now goes up into P11, gets himself into the points. Not bad at all from Loïc Lemieux. And we're looking at his teammate Terzic now in 4th. So both of the Allied racing cars in the points, and they'll obviously be needing that. As you see Terzic coming into the pit lane, I guess he heard my advice. But yeah, Allied Racing will be needing big points here today, as they are last in the Teams Championship on 54 points. Despite the fact they have scored points in every single race of the season, they are last in the championship, as we now see Søren Jakobsen on the board, and the Dane has got himself into P17, make that P18, as Damian Krastev has gone up into 7th. Great lap from the man from Bulgaria, and he now gets his name on the board, and crucially into the points as well. I need to, if you'll excuse me, I have to put my phone on Do Not Disturb mode, because for some reason, when I'm speaking, my Siri keeps going off my phone, so I apologize for that. It's doing that sometimes, and I don't know why. Either way, back to qualifying. We've got 4.5 minutes left on the clock. It is Luke Fischer who could be on for a first pole position in only his 3rd time in a Porsche Super Cup car. We'll see if he's going to be able to pull that one off. He's got Sebastian De Kloot and Håkan Sodenström behind him. Both of those two could be in contention to take the lead in the championship here today. And we'll see if that will be the case, or if we're gonna have someone else climb their way into the top 3 in these final 4 minutes of qualifying, as Loic Lemieux gets another improvement in P8. Steady gains from the Swissman, but he gets pushed down into 9th as Jose Lucas now goes up into 7th. Luke Fischer, though, extends his advantage. He's not playing around here today in Mexico City, and he improves on his lap, and going up into 4th, Khalil Shahin into 4th place. Not bad at all from Khalil Shahin, who seemed invigorated at his home race last time at Istanbul. He could be on for yet another points finish here at Mexico City, as Søren Jakobsen now gets himself into 12th and into the points. Albeit it is only 12th, Søren Jakobsen is now in the points and is trying to fight back his championship rivals. So this is gonna get very interesting now. Søren Jakobsen has thrown himself into the mix in these final 3 minutes of qualifying, and we'll see if he's gonna be able to get an improvement and get himself up there with the likes of Sorenström and the Kloot. This could be a very, very interesting championship fight we'll have on our hands. One man I'm looking at the moment then is down in P21, Çağatay Yılmaz, the Turkish man who scored big points last time out of his home race, is pretty far down the order. And if he wants a chance of competing with the likes of Sorenström and Jakobsen, he's going to have to get an improvement in. As we see Ji-Hwan Kyon go up into 7th. Ludvig Stefansson, though, the Icelandic man, up into 2nd he goes. Jose Lucas with yet another improvement. He goes up into P6. Loic Lemieux did get an improvement in as well. We didn't quite catch that though, but he is up into 10th as Miško Srčević. What a lap from the Montenegrin. It was 3rd, but it is 4th now as Khalil Shahin has gone up into 3rd, and Khalil Shahin is not playing around here at Mexico City either. And I have to say, it's great to see that Shahin finally is able to show off that pace that he has been hiding, and now sits in 3rd. So yeah, not bad at all from Khalil Shahin. I think that points finish at Istanbul has kind of reinvigorated him here, and he seems to be on pretty good pace. It looks like he has the motivation to finally do well, and that's great to see for Khalil Shahin, who has become a bit of a super sub in recent seasons. Obviously, this season and the last one, he's only raced sporadically, making appearances in series here and there. But yeah, it is good to see Shahin back, and I believe this is his first time he's competing in touring cars. So yeah, it certainly is interesting as Lemieux gets yet another improvement in. I have to say, Loic Lemieux has been looking incredible today, and there it is from Çağatay Yılmaz as he goes up into 9th, but Justin Ferguson-Osei, what a lap from the American, and that is going to be 2nd for Justin Ferguson-Osei. From absolutely nowhere, the American up into the front row as the checker flag is now out. Miško Srčević was the first man to go across the line. Khalil Shahin improves, up into 3rd he goes. Søren Jakobsen comes into the pits. He will not qualify inside the points. He will be starting P17 at best. And this gets very, very interesting now, as it is advantage to Håkan Sorenström and Sebastian de Kloot, but both of them go down 2 positions as Stefansson goes up into 4th, and Amin Al-Fadil up into P5 as well. Great lap from Amin Al-Fadil. Next across the line then, Julia Miyazaki, the driver, in 10th. We'll see if she's going to be able to get an improvement down from P23. The answer is no, but the driver behind her, Kai Chereshnia, goes up into 9th now. Nick Tander is next across the line. The Australian down in P22 does not improve. Damian Krastev, though, up into second. Great lap from Krastev. A lot of people making improvements up into second, but no one able to challenge Luke Fisher just yet. We still have 8 cars to go across the line. We'll see if that is going to change. Gonzalez comes into the pit lane. Lemieux behind comes in as well. And now we're looking at the big man himself, Håkan Sorenström, and all eyes will be on him now as he is going to round the final corner. Will he be able to find an improvement on this lap? No is the answer. He does not, but Yilmaz does, up into 4th, and suddenly Çağatay Yilmaz becomes the favorite to take the championship lead here at Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez as he just clinches 4th, but that's not going to be the big story. It is going to be Luke Fisher in his 3rd race takes pole position here at Hermanos Rodriguez. Whew. And now we'll have to take a bit of a deep breath and yeah, just try and process the end of that qualifying session. Again, Porsche Super Cup delivers in qualifying, and what a qualifying that was indeed. So the grid is set then, and just before we get racing here in Mexico, it is time to go through the grid. So it is Luke Fisher, the young Welshman, in his 3rd Porsche Super Cup race, will start in pole position, and accompany him on the front row, it is Damian Krastev in the Cartech Motorsport. Justin Ferguson Ose lines up a brilliant 3rd place, and it is the man 2nd in the championship at the moment, Çağatay Yilmaz, in 4th, looking to be the favorite to take the lead of the championship here today. Andrei Sazonov will be in P5 with Halil Shahin in P6. Ludwig Stefansson is in 7th with Aman Al-Fadil in 8th. Nikolaus Schlöter is in 9th with Miško Srnčević in 10th. And then outside the top 10, the first man is Sebastian De Kloot in the Team GP Elite car in 11th. Then it is Kai Shrezhnia in 12th, followed by Håkan Sorenström in 13th. Loic Lemieux is in 14th, and then it is Jose Lucas, I believe, rounding out the points paying positions. Yatis Terzic is in P16, and then it is Ji-Wan Kyon in 17th. Alessio Costanzo is in 18th with Søren Jakobsen, championship leader, down in 19th. We'll see what he is going to be able to do today, as Marco Rosenthal will be behind him in 20th. Then it is the 2 BWT Lechner cars of Yannick Moltke and Nick Tander taking P21 and P22, followed by Julia Miyazaki in 23rd with Rubinho Gonzalez in 24th. Mikolas Černik, poor qualifying from the Czech driver who scored points in every single race bar 1. That is not the qualifying session he wants. And rounding off the grid is the 2 Malaysians of Kok Ji Chong and Jagan Yonada. So then the qualifying is set. We're ready to go racing for 20 laps here at the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez. Luke Fisher on pole position. We have 6 lights, and we are not underway here at Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez. But yeah, second time is the charm as the lights come on once again for 20 laps here at the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez. And we're underway here at Mexico City. Good start for Luke Fisher. I think he's going to cover off Krastev there in second as we head down into turn number 1. Krastev, though, might face pressure from Justin Ferguson Ose or potentially Çağatay Yilmaz. But Krastev is going to dive down the inside line of Luke Fisher then. Into turn number 1 and through 2 and 3. They are gonna be wheel to wheel for the race lead, then heading down the run into turn 4. It's gonna be Fisher on the inside line now as Krastev then moves over to the inside line. Is he gonna be late on the brakes to try and line up alongside Luke Fisher once again? He has the outside line through turn 5, and Fisher holds on to the race lead as Ferguson Ose and Yilmaz now fight for the last step of the podium. And it's Yilmaz who is going to be wheel to wheel with his teammate as they go side by side then through the S's heading into sector 2. Yilmaz is there on the inside line, but Ferguson Ose holds off his Turkish teammate, and Yilmaz is going to have to settle for 4th place at the moment as Stefansson holds off Nikolaus Schlöter heading out of turn number 11. Stefansson will be in 9th at the moment as Schlöter will try and make a move on the man from Iceland. Here comes Sebastian De Cloot though on the inside line of the Liechtensteiner driver. As we head into the stadium section, De Cloot can't do anything. He's going to get boxed in as Schlöter tries it on Stefansson into turn number 13, but he isn't able to do anything just yet, and he has to stay behind. Here is Loic Lemieux fighting Alessio Costanzo as they go side by side through the final corner, and they will be wheel to wheel heading down the start finish straight, heading down into lap 2. And down into turn 1 we will go. It's Ji-Hwan Kyon who might make it 3 wide into turn number 1, and he is going to make it. Costanzo and Lemieux make contact then into turn number 1. Kyon tries it on the outside line. Costanzo doesn't get the best of runs. This could allow Marco Rosenthal behind to try something there, and he is going to try it on the Korean man. Costanzo though loses out to Loic Lemieux, and he won't be happy with the Swiss man as they did make contact with each other heading down into the first corner. Costanzo though tried it on the outside line of turn number 6 there. He's going to try it on the inside line. No, sorry, this is turn 6. The previous corner was turn 5. But Kyon tries it on the inside line, tries to go up and along the side. Lemieux there. Kyon still wheel to wheel with Rosenthal. Rosenthal's going to try to make it stick on the inside line there. Will he be able to do it then? Kyon is not wanting to give up that position, but unfortunately he is going to have to do that as Marco Rosenthal takes the opportunity perfectly and goes up into P17. As here's Kai Chereshnia looking to make a late move onto Sebastian De Cloot heading into turn 13. Chereshnia loses out on the outside line there, can't quite do anything. Here's Jose Lucas trying it on Håkan Sorenström, but might just lose out to Loic Lemieux, as Lemieux is going to be side by side with the Brazilian through the final corner we will go, and it's going to be Lemieux on the inside line as we head into lap 3 now, and it is Çağatay Yılmaz who sets the fastest lap of the race. So that is a pretty interesting development indeed, as Lemieux is going to try and line up alongside Lucas now heading down into turn number 1. Early on the brakes though, Lucas outbrakes Loic Lemieux, and as a result he will remain in P15, but he might come under pressure from Alessio Costanzo looking to take revenge for that accident they had the lap previous, and Costanzo is going to be on the inside line heading into turn 4, looks to be ahead. Lemieux tries to brake later in an effort to still keep it wheel to wheel with him. He's going to have the inside line to even cut ahead of Costanzo, and now Costanzo is forced to the less favorable outside line. Is he still going to be able to keep it wheel to wheel into the SS? Somehow he does it there. He got a better exit out of turn number 6, and he is going to be wheel to wheel with Loic Lemieux, and these two rather inexperienced drivers going all out for what is only P15, and unfortunately for Costanzo it is Loic Lemieux who keeps it in P15. Here is Amen Al-Fadil. He is chasing down Çağatay Yılmaz. Yılmaz, who's about 9/10 off Justin Ferguson Ose's teammate, despite having set the fastest lap of the race. It seems that maybe Yılmaz wasn't quite able to keep a consistent pace in these first few laps. as Amin Al Fadil will be looking to get the Turkish driver. Seems to be struggling. He's creating a bit of a gap between himself and Justin Ferguson-Ose in third. And I think unless Al Fadil is able to get past Yilmaz here, we all know how this story is going to end. Sazonov is trying on Amin Al Fadil there. Had a bit of a look there on the Sudanese man, but wasn't quite able to do anything there. That has allowed Khalil Shahin behind to inch a tiny bit closer though. So yeah, Shahin will maybe try and get Andrei Sazonov if he slips up into a bit of an error again. Luke Fischer though hasn't quite been able to pull away into the race lead and pull a Søren Jakobsen. In fact, he has got Damian Krastev closely behind. It is a very close pack for the lead still. You've got Justin Ferguson-Ose there in third. About 5/10 behind Damian Krastev. So it is a rather close pack. And Luke Fischer, will see if the rookie will be feeling the pressure now that he's got Damian Krastev knocking and trying to take the race lead. As here is Amin Al Fadil, and he is in fact going to try it onto Yilmaz, heading down into turn number 4. Then Al Fadil going way out wide, trying to take a really wide line to set himself up for this exit here, but he is still going to be wheel to wheel with the Turkish man, and this is not good for Çağatay Yılmaz, but it is Amin Al Fadil who's going to get himself up into 4th as Yilmaz tries one last lunge there on the inside line. It doesn't quite work out in the Turkish man's favor though, and it is going to be Amin Al Fadil in the Dynamic Motorsport getting himself up into P4. He judged that very well and got himself up into 4th place. So it's going to be him gaining another position, and if he keeps this pace up, he could be on for a podium even. And now Yilmaz was caught napping there. Bit slow on exit. Andrei Sazonov's going to try it now onto Çağatay Yılmaz, and it could go from bad to worse as he could risk shuffling down another position. But heading into turn number 13, it's going to be Andrei Sazonov who's going to have to stay behind Yilmaz at the moment and will have to stay in 6th. And Sazonov has been presented with a few opportunities to make an overtake, hasn't quite been able to seize the opportunity, and yeah, again, has to be careful of Khalil Shahin behind. If he keeps doing this, he might be at risk of losing out his P6 to Shahin, as Al Fadil now sets the fast lap of the race. And yeah, he is on pretty good pace at the moment, so if Al Fadil keeps this up, we'll just see if he could be on for a podium here. And yeah, it was imperative that he did pass Çağatay Yılmaz, because look at that gap, not only on the timing streets but just on track as well. There is quite a significant gap to Al Fadil now in P4. So yeah, the same applies for Al Fadil, or for Sazonov, as it did for Al Fadil. If you want a chance at keeping up with the top 4, you're most likely going to have to try it now, as I think that was a move, attempted move from Khalil Shahin. He had a bit of a peep on the inside line of Yilmaz. Here though is Jose Lucas trying it on the inside line of Håkan Sorenström, and the Brazilian is going to try to get the championship leader and then heading into the S's. This is quite unexpected, but Jose Lucas through the S's he goes on the outside line there. Sorenström runs over the curb and runs wide a bit, and that's going to allow Jose Lucas to go up into 13th. As we look 2 positions down to Alessio Costanzo, 3 positions down even now to Marco Rosenthal. who is chasing down the San Marinese driver. Does run a bit wide though, as we go up once again to Andrei Sazonov, now heading down the start-finish straight, closing in on Yilmaz, heading down into turn number 1. Is Sazonov going to be able to try anything? The answer is no. Seemed to get pretty close, but no, Sazonov opts to stay behind, and I think he did run a bit wide through turn 2. Might that allow Halil Shahin to close in? Maybe not. Looking at Ludwig Stefansson, who is trying to maybe have a look on Miško Srnčević. We'll see if he's going to be able to pull off anything into turn 4 now. And into turn 4, no moves are tried. Except Srnčević, who maybe ran a bit wide. And that probably is why he was adjusting his line to go into Shahin. Sazanov's going to go into Yilmaz now. And both of the Turkish drivers come under pressure from threats behind, as Sazonov is going to have the outside line now heading into the SS. And they will be wheel to wheel through Sector 2. Sazonov, will he be able to pull this move off then on the outside line? The answer is yes, as Sazonov moves up into P5 after a pretty good move, but that battle behind is not done. Shahin defending against Miško Srnčević, the Montenegrin, and the Turkish Halil Shahin side by side then now heading down into the stadium section. It's Shahin on the outside line with more traction. It's going to give him the inside line into turn number 13 though. Very, very sharp inside line. Turns into the outside for Shahin. Is Srnčević going to be able to keep it wheel to wheel heading into the final corner? And no, Shahin, brilliant defending from Halil Shahin. He still got it. And pulls off some very, very slick defensive maneuvering to keep Miško Srnčević at bay. And Srnčević, offense is going to turn into defense for him now, as Ludwig Stefansson in the Dynamic Motorsport is going to go to the inside line now, heading down into turn number 1. Will he be able to take the advantage of this? Nikolaus Schlöter tried something there, but Srnčević moved over to block the Liechtensteiner driver, as Stefansson then heading out of turn 3, gets him, and Srnčević, what looked to be almost an easy P7 on the board for him, now goes down into P9. But Srnčević not letting that go though. He's gonna go to the inside line of Ludwig Stefansson. Turns into the outside for him, but unfortunately it's not gonna work, as there's the Claude with an absolute dive onto Miško Srnčević. Was a pretty late braking maneuver, but I fear it was a bit too late for Sebastian de Cloot, and he does run a bit wide through the SS. Will that allow Nico Schlöter to try something? I'm not sure, as here is Håkan Sorenström now fighting Kai Chereshnia, as the two will go wheel to wheel. It's Håkan Sorenström, the Porsche Super Cup race winner, versus Kai Chereshnia, the former Formula 1 driver with Racing Point and Aston Martin, as Chereshnia is gonna go to the inside line. They will be wheel to wheel heading into the stadium section. Chereshnia's there on the outside line, but I think it's gonna be Sorenström keeping it on the inside. Not quite. Chereshnia still there heading into the final corner, but it is going to be Håkan Sorenström on the outside. No, Chereshnia keeps the wheel to wheel. I thought Sorenström would have it done on the outside line, but Chereshnia keeps it going with the Swede, and heading down into the first corner. It is going to be Chereshnia who is going to be side by side with Håkan Sorenström. Or is it? I think Sorenström got quite a good run. Heading out of the final corner, he's going to be there on the inside line. Jose Lucas going to make it 3 wide. And there's contact between Lucas and Chereshnia. And Jose Lucas does get past the Polish man. And he will not be happy about Jose Lucas as well. And I have to say, that was on Jose Lucas. He was behind both of those. He tried to go for it. And yeah. Chereshnia was ahead. It was his right to the corner, and yeah, it was a bit of a stupid move, and Chereshnia's lost out as a result. As we look a few positions further down the field, here is Rubinho Gonzalez fighting it out with Alessio Costanzo, heading into the S section now. Through turn 7 we go and into turn number 8. And Gonzalez gets it done on the outside line. Clean and simple move from Rubinho Gonzalez. As here is Sebastian de Kloot fighting Nico Schlöter. As we head into the stadium section, de Kloot to the inside of Schlöter, but he isn't able to do anything just yet and can't quite breach the top 10 as Luke Fisher sets yet another fastest lap. And Luke Fisher is flying at the moment. Don't know if you guys watching have noticed, but he's setting fastest lap after fastest lap, and he is now 2.5 seconds clear of Damian Krastev. So Luke Fisher is getting into the groove, and he is pulling away. And now Damian Krastev might start to feel a bit uneasy as Justin Ferguson-Ose is creeping up behind him and looking poised to strike for that second place. As here is the battle for P23 between Yannick Moltke and Mikolas Czernik. Czernik's going to be there on the outside line to try and get the German. Heading into turn 4, it's going to be Moltke who stays behind unless he's going to be able to try something onto the inside line. The answer is no, as Moltke will still have to defend on the outside line. Czernik could prove us wrong here, but unfortunately for him, he doesn't. And he's going to have to stay behind, not before having another look on the inside line, as that doesn't work in the SS either. Mikolas Czernik trying it absolutely everywhere, but just isn't able to get the move done. As here's Håkan Sorenström and Jose Lucas. Sorenström got a poor run at turn number 11, and Jose Lucas was trying to get up and alongside Håkan Sorenström. Wasn't quite able to do that. As we head on to lap 11 now, Andrei Sazonov has set the fastest lap of the race. So Sazonov could try and maybe catch up with that top 4 pack, as he is about a second off Amin Al-Fadil. So we'll see if he will be able to get up there. So here is Al-Fadil, in fact, and he himself is trying to line up a move on Justin Ferguson-Ose. Had a look on the outside line, didn't go for the inside, as I thought. Usually drivers tend to set themselves up at the inside, but probably that's why, since Ferguson-Ose is going on to Damian Krastev for second place. Is he going to be able to get up and alongside through the S's? I don't know, but if he loses out, he might come under pressure from Amin Al-Fadil. He is determined, though, to make this go wheel to wheel through the S's. Great battle for second place as Ferguson-Ose and Krastev go wheel to wheel, then heading down into turn 12 now. It's going to be Ferguson-Ose round the outside of Krastev. He was momentarily ahead heading out of turn number 11. There's still wheel to wheel then as Sazonov and Al-Fadil side by side in the background there as well. But Justin Ferguson-Ose is going to go around the outside line into the final corner. Krastev, though, on the inside line will keep it wheel to wheel heading down the start finish straight now. And it's Justin Ferguson-Ose who looks to get the better run down the start finish straight. And I think he is going to be through on Damian Krastev and up into second. Justin Ferguson-Ose is through into second. Not quite, as Krastev is going to try one last attempt to get up into second. But it is futile as Justin Ferguson-Ose gets himself up into second. Amin Al-Fadil is still holding off Andrei Sazonov here, as they've been side by side for almost a lap now, it feels like. But Sazonov is not giving up to try and get that P4 as they're wheel to wheel through turn 5. Brilliant battling between the two. Sazonov on the inside line now, heading into turn 6. Has the better traction on that inside line, and Al Fadil just about wheel to wheel with Andrei Sazonov. Bit late on the brakes, gets the traction on the inside through turn 7, and they will be side by side through the S's. Brilliant racing between the two, none of them looking to back down here, as Sazonov on the outside heading through turn number 11 gets the better on the outside line. Al Fadil on the inside line through that little kick heading into turn 12. It's gonna be Al Fadil on the inside now, and none of these two refusing to back down, but it is Andrei Sazonov through turn 13. He goes late on the brakes on the inside, gets it done on Amin Al Fadil, and the Russian man goes up into P4. Brilliant battles we're seeing here in the top 5. You'll love to see it, and it is Justin Ferguson-Ose who goes up into second, and Andrei Sazonov who now goes up into 4th. But as a result of these battles, the field has spread out a bit. Krastev is now about a second off Justin Ferguson-Ose, and Justin Ferguson-Ose is now 7 seconds behind Luke Fisher. So this battling for second has benefited Luke Fisher. So yeah, Fisher now has way more room to breathe. As here is the two Autotech cars going at it with each other. That's Chereshnia and Rosenthal, as Kai Chereshnia is there on the inside. Marco Rosenthal on the outside will try and get his former Formula 1 teammate as they go wheel to wheel now, heading into the SS. Who's going to come out on top in this battle for 13th? As Loic Lemieux behind could try and get his hands stuck into this as well. And the answer is Kai Chereshnia will be able to get his teammate there. And Rosenthal hasn't got the greatest of runs. Could Loic Lemieux try something here on the Austrian? Not yet, as he has got himself a bit closer to Marco Rosenthal. Here's Ji-Hwan Kyon, darts down the inside line of Loic Lemieux, heading into turn number 13. Very, very late lunge, and a pretty big one at that from Ji-Hwan Kyon, as heading through the final corner. They will be side by side down the start-finish straight. Ji-Hwan Kyon could get himself up into P16, gets the better run on the outside line through the final corner, and I think it is going to be Ji-Hwan Kyon who gets up into P16, as Rubinho Gonzalez now is going to try it on Loic Lemieux as well. Could drop the Swiss man yet another position, as they will be side by side. Gonzalez side by side with Lemieux now, as they go into turn number 4. It's going to be Gonzalez having the outside line. Let's see if he's going to be able to get it done. And he's still trying it there. Lemieux trying to hang on, doesn't want to lose another position. Gonzalez then is going to try to seize the opportunity to the best of his abilities, as we now head into the S section once more. Gonzalez on the outside, will have the inside and then the outside through this flowing section of corners, as Gonzalez, I think, is going to be ahead heading out of this complex. And it is, yes, it's going to be Rubinho Gonzalez up into 17th. Here's Jose Lucas, who has been having a few good tussles in the midfield today, looking to try it on Kai Chereshnia, who got past Marco Rosenthal. We didn't see this, but Jose Lucas got past Marco Rosenthal into 14th, and he's not pressuring Kai Chereshnia, the other Fach Autotech car, for P13. So Jose Lucas not driving a bad race at all. He's enjoying himself in that mid-pack, dueling with a lot of drivers today. Here is Loic Lemieux. Oh, he could be at risk of losing yet another position. Alessio Costanzo is gonna go to the inside line. The man who he collided with all those laps ago, they're now gonna go side by side once again, and this could be the time for Alessio Costanzo to get his revenge on the Swiss man, as they will be wheel to wheel, heading down this little straightaway into turn number 4. It's gonna be Lemieux on the inside line. Let's see if he's gonna get this one done then, Alessio Costanzo, and he could drop Loic Lemieux even further back in this race, as he's now on the inside line. Is he gonna be able to get this done? Then it's gonna be Lemieux on the outside who gets the better exit there, heading into the SS now, and they will be wheel to wheel. Who's gonna get this one done then, as both of them are going all out? Lemieux really doesn't want to lose another position here. It's what he would have liked, but unfortunately for Loic Lemieux, it's going to be Alessio Costanzo who goes up into 18th. Hello, Giuseppe. You just joined us in this little battle we've been witnessing. It's been a pretty eventful race. We've had a lot of battles in the midfield, and you're joining us with just 4 laps to go.
Yeah, sorry about the delay. I had some life duties to get through first. So I wanted to join beforehand, but sadly that wasn't possible. Although it's still nice to witness the last few laps. And seeing here is a very close fight for P2, that is, Ferguson leading that pack. And I think I had a glimpse of the stream beforehand. I'm pretty sure those two were fighting earlier beforehand as well.
Yeah. As we go back to this fight for second, and Justin Ferguson Ose, who got Damian Krastev for second, and now seems to face pressure from Krastev, who could try and get the American and get a second back. Here is Nico Schlöter then. He is fighting Mishko Srncevic for 9th. Halil Shahin is going to try and clear his fellow compatriot Çağatay Yılmaz, and Andrei Sazonov is going to try and get himself onto the podium here, as they will go side by side. Sazonov then, this could be a brilliant performance from him if he gets up into third, as heading through the SS, he does it. Andrei Sazonov up into 3rd. What a race he's driving right now. And he gets himself up into 3rd place, as Krastev now shuffles down to 4th. He's going to try once again on Andrei Sazonov. Yilmaz, though, loses out to the more experienced Turkish driver Halil Shahin, who goes up into P6. Here's Amin Al-Fadil, who could try it on Damian Krastev as well. Could drop the Bulgarian down another position, but Amin Al-Fadil isn't quite able to do anything, and I think he might have a poor run heading down the start-finish straight. No, not quite. I don't think Halil Shahin is closing in. But Andrei Sazonov then is the big gainer in this pack, and now could look to pressure Justin Ferguson Ose for second, Giuseppe.
This is a very close battle here, as I mentioned beforehand. Targeted positions, very close battle for P2 here, yeah. Although P1 probably is a dream right now for drivers in the battle for that P2 spot. P2 certainly is not, but Kio now down the inside of Lucas. Will he be able to get it done? That's into turn 1, then into turn 2, and then once again into turn 3, down onto the straight. I don't think Keon has got it just yet. He is going to be able to get it done eventually, but let's cut back to the main battle here up ahead. Al-Fadil seems to keep 5th, although I think Shine had a look, but now Shine is under pressure by Yilmaz, compatriot. Let's see how the two Turks battle it out as they're now side by side, and Al-Fadil is actually trying to move on to Krastev as well.
Yeah, Al-Fadil is going to try to get this 4th place for himself. Damian Krastev caught napping here, as he could shuffle down the order just how Amin Al-Fadil did a few laps earlier. And Amin Al-Fadil does secure that 4th. Çağatay Yılmaz does get past Halil Shahin for P6, but I don't think Shahin is done with his fellow compatriot. He's gonna go to the inside line, heading into the stadium section now. And he is going to try it on the outside line. Then Yilmaz having to defend the inside line. Shahin's going to be granted the inside line through these final couple of corners, as Yilmaz is going to try to defend as best as he can. Heading through these final corners, Shahin's going to inch ahead, but Yilmaz is going to get that better run on the outside line compared to Halil Shahin, and could get him on the straight now as we head down the start-finish straight. Yilmaz is just inching ahead now into turn number 1. We're gonna go. And we're gonna go into turn number 1 now. It's Yilmaz on the outside, Shahin on the inside. The two Turks going wheel to wheel for P6 in this race. Yilmaz with a championship to fight for here. Desperately doesn't want his more experienced compatriot to get past him here, as we only have 2 laps left here at Mexico City, and the battles are still raging on, ladies and gentlemen, so don't go anywhere, as Yilmaz now on the inside line, also Shahin on the inside, who I think wasn't able to get ahead, and he wasn't, as here is Al-Fadil trying to pressurize Andrei Sazonov. Shahin and Yilmaz still wheel to wheel. They've been at it for a lap now, and Yilmaz is still trying to get Halil Shahin, but I think, unfortunately for Çağatay Yilmaz, Halil Shahin, who has been like a wall in defense today, remains in 6th place.
Great defending by Shahin, of course. Very nice battle between the 2 Turkish drivers. Very interesting to see. But Shahin, of course, ends up the driver in front. Now though, lap 19 out of 20 seems like it's flying by, honestly, and I've just joined. As Fisher, I think, yeah, I mean, these drivers are now only coming onto lap 19, I'm pretty sure. Yep. Yeah, now we head back a bit further down, as we did see Keon and Lucas were fighting beforehand. Keon has probably managed to get ahead, but now Lucas is pressuring him once again.
Yeah, Jose Lucas, we'll see if he's going to be able to do anything here. G1 Keon was able to get past the Brazilian, but I don't think Lucas is going to be able to do anything. He's got quite a poor exit. Rubinho Gonzalez could come knocking here on the Brazilian's doorstep, heading into turn 1. He is going to go to the inside line. Now Jose Lucas trying to take a pretty wide line. Gonzalez, I think, went over the curb there, and that's going to affect him a bit, but he's still able to go wheel to wheel with the Brazilian here, as they will be side by side heading down into turn number 4.
Yeah, let's see what comes out of this battle, as Lucas now down the inside, a bit of the grass, but he's now under pressure by Gonzalez. As they go side by side into the next turn, they go, the kind of double right-hander we have here, pretty sure double right-hander, and then into the S's. Very tricky section. Let's see if they can keep side by side. Because on the inside, I think Gonzalez might have the edge on him, and yes, he does. Lucas has dropped another position, and now he's out of the points.
Yeah, and that's going to be a shame for Jose Lucas, who's been fighting in the midfield. Here's a battle between 2 contenders at the championship, Håkan Sodenström and Sebastian De Kloot. The 2 Uniserver Team GP Elite cars will go side by side, heading into the stadium section. Now it's going to be Sebastian De Kloot on the inside line, and Håkan Sodenström is going to have the outside line through the final couple of corners, and that's going to be the superior line, obviously, because that's going to set him up for the start-finish straight as well. So we'll see now then, as we head down the start-finish straight, the Kloot will get a marginally better exit, but it is going to be enough for him to get himself ahead of his Swedish teammate. And Kai Chereshnia behind could try and get Håkan Sodenström, but Sodenström blocks him off to try and go to Sebastian De Kloot. He doesn't think it's over yet, and he is going to try it on the outside line, heading into turn number 1, as they will be wheel to wheel on this final lap of this race here at the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez. The 2 Team GP Elite teammates will go side by side for P11 in this race. Sodenström now on the inside line. Will he be able to pull this off? Will he be able to defend that position from his Dutch teammate as they go side by side, heading down into turn number 6. This battle doesn't look like it's ever gonna end. They look so close to each other as Sorenström is gonna be on the inside line as they're still side by side through the S's. However, I think just coming around the final corner, it is going to be an absolutely dominant and a very overlooked drive. 20 seconds almost of a race victory. Luke Fischer wins at Mexico City. And here is Håkan Sorenström and Sebastian de Kloot. I think this battle might just go down to the final corner as de Kloot's there on the inside line. Sorenström will try and make it stick on the inside line. All or nothing now, heading down to the final corner, and Sorenström won't get it. It's going to be Sebastian de Kloot who's going to get 11th. But here's Rubinho Gonzalez. He's going to try and get Ji-Hwan Kyo for 14th. Who's going to get it? It's Kyon who just gets P14. And yeah, there it is then. And there's your results. It was a very dominant drive from Luke Fischer, I have to say. It was very overlooked. We were focusing on the midfield and where the battles were, but Luke Fischer, 19 seconds to take a race win by. That is incredible.
I think that's probably I've commented in many races now in ACOC, but I think that's one of the biggest gaps I've seen between first and second. I'm gonna be honest with you there, Miran.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably the biggest gap in Porsche Super Cup from what I remember. But yeah, great stuff from Luke Fischer. And it is Justin Ferguson Ose who comes home to take his first podium. And then Andrei Sazonov as well. Very good race from him as well in third. Amin Al-Fadil will be in fourth with Damian Krastev in fifth. Halil Shahin finishes in P6 with Çağatay Yılmaz in seventh. Ludwig Stefansson finishes 8th with Nikolaus Schlöter in 9th. And then Miško Zunčević rounds out the top 10.
And I'll take you to the rest. We have de Kloot in 11th there, and his team has Sorenström. They battled it to the end, but de Kloot came out on top. Then we have Sherezny in 13th, and Ji-Hwan Kyo in 14th. And rounding out the points, Rubinho Gonzalez in 15th, after overtaking Jose Lucas, who ends his race in 16th, just missing out. Then we have Marco Rosenthal in 17th, Alessio Costanzo in 18th, and Yates Stesic in 19th. The two teammates are there in 18th and 19th. Then we have 20th, we have Loic Lemieux. And going further down, we find Søren Jakobsen, last week's race winner, finishing pointless this time around. Then we have Nick Tander and Molke, the two teammates, also 22nd, 23rd. Junaldo is 24th. Jennings 25th, and then Cheong 26th. And in last, we have Julia Miyazaki in 27th.
Yeah, that is gonna be it then for Porsche Super Cup here at Autodrome Hermanos Rodriguez. Was a very good race, I have to say. It was very eventful. A lot of overtakes, a lot of great battles. And I have to say, I am incredibly conflicted on who to give this driver of the day to. There are a lot of people I can give this to, I'm gonna be honest. But I think I'm gonna give it to... I think I'm just gonna give it to Luke Fischer. I know, okay, it's basic. I think there's a lot of people I could have given to, but Luke Fischer, I mean, to win by 19 seconds in your third Porsche Super Cup race is certainly something that shouldn't go overlooked at all. So I think it's a very, very impressive feat. But honorable mentions will go to Justin Ferguson Ose, Halil Shahin, and Andrei Sazonov. So I think they did really, really well today. And Giuseppe, even though you weren't here for the full race, would you still like to award a driver for the day?
Honestly, I think I saw too little of it, so I'll sit this one out. But I'm pretty sure your takes are probably, well, they make sense to me. But of course, I can't say a lot because I wasn't here for a lot of time, so I'll sit this one out.
All right. But that's been it then for Porsche Super Cup here at Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez. Don't worry though, the action at Mexico City does not end here. We're gonna have the Formula 1 Mexico City Grand Prix at the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez next. So make sure to not miss that. Next round of Porsche Super Cup as well will be round 9 of the championship as we head to South America, to Brazil, to Interlagos. We'll also have Super Formula 1 at Watkins Glen whenever. Either way, then that's been it for Porsche Super Cup. I've been Miran,
and I've been Giuseppe.
Thanks so much for watching, and we will see you when the ACC returns for the 2021 Mexico City Grand Prix. Thank you.